Madalas sa malungit tutan merabekla. Tial loreng seringi sa matbok rin ilalsil sa press conference sa office of president. Naman maring asulir bekla at no sabihin may paggather al tutaw Mr. President ma cabinet members. Ako may sa malputok ako ra direct additional special guest rin al tutaw. Ako naman maring asulir no sabihin may join rin al tutaw. Direct malungit tutan mara rogol adra media lo paggather al tutaw. Di wabek kal press conference kada mo lingit tra di akon tan mo row mo open na press conference lagi talo bang lungo sula.
Testing. Alamal may lugol ko tao. Kaya wala pa kululu iwit yan bal sa mergid. Diyan ang ara John 14:21. Whoever has my commands and keep them is the one who loves me. The one who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I too will love them and show myself to them. Adam Diyos nga nga takin beran bareng asulim berat tu tahu. Beran pasauli Adam Diyos. Belur bela Adam Diyos sa o mesrigin namo o partner tradisyon ng mami Adam Diyos lagi umaragaw. El bekal time lagi marulang ngidil nga Adam Diyos and so mamalot trok mamaragaw. Adam kambaran pasauli at tu tahu le bu mesra rogul adana asel tiang Adam Diyos et dire di tiro ultimo nakalkaw. Bagi wilar mam ngatiang lo asegi motor Christian conference legor kau. Adam may giro ul sama bon matbok lo giutil. Adam bu matbok nga sel som. Kirgiro ul ngartiang ngargi application sa tir Adam Dios. Wal sab iren mit ay application sa tir lawo kila president Rabul Bela at time. Amran masauli Adam Dios Rabul mam elo Dios ergau. Le blue lo Dios angal tangat targa Adam Dios. Bagi maran ngartiang ya Adam yak maran lokra each and every one of them. Ere alaang el molmut rapon mereka conference and be in this conference and be with them and be in their family all the way and molmutra kabasige yun lang sarga mereka sulem e ultra kultiro huy le gorgau ulpol ngara imam el setlis ila imam el masisi ilom karer mam roy ay gaya od ngasam e unt mam ngarang klang algem Jesus Christus la sablam al mu'ar amen.
Man sulang dia kon buguro na laktat kalbla bad sama dire kan nungu relal tutau e kadamra lo ase kadangal tangat el blu le kado dios el blu e blo lal dar sergid mura ruba e ngara otmel alla argid ro ase kado gio mngiti gai mun kadamra mara sulem luk no se amelo gadra al tutau du tial te alle bodo susra ibdul maraklai maru bugul belau bilung e biraklai mar masil belau President of Senate Rocons Paules marugul senators, Speaker Anastasio marugul delegates, Justice Ngiray Galaw marugul justices, governors, speakers, matugubet sil susurgid marabek ladder belaw. Angar al sel ablur belaw mga naikrial ablur belaw al sid siluk no sil tunil mortial el program rigid. Igida ngartial al tutam modmal mrenga suler minister lobangget ngaria minister uduy Minister Werbelaw, Minister Matu, or Minister Aitaro. Dire kalau mungkin ada Ambassador Adalbay, ter kita belas syabal. Dire kan mal togobet selok kyak sangar kita ngaria weekly Lieutenant weekly Antonio nga ngor sel anti-human trafficking argid. Dire kal President of Veterans Association, Mr. Ngimang ama Clarence Masayos, dire kal umtera veterans selok mungkin ada tutang kuman bisulan ni. Le tira kuntial te ale urang asura media lo banget urang asura me Mr. Soley Mr. Soladao Mr. Clima dire kal Mr. Uludong sulangan merela tutam kaduk adadu kaswase rura da continue ang disokan ma kote kwa te ale Mr. adra veterans look di bol announce igel close to trail el program ma activities that are going on ngaria of course announcement el maral and it's other what alelu bolselo ay sa singana what's happening this week sula
okay kuman sulang tiangon okay sulang presidente sulate alal mo sa amal me merong wais rahmal الكلاود هوتيل مرالمي البروجرام Veterans Affairs ما الال 28 ما 29 البويل يا غارني Veterans Affairs Claims Outreach المربلاو تمير سيل موتوتارا 28 تمسيل مرا هوتيل مرقون يا 1 o'clock تمورسل باسيور هوسبيتال تيال كوميونيتي جايدنس سنتر الغارني receive a claim direct sur time ngani access til mora VA database mun sabil lo waisa status ay claims tira our veterans amle fighters ay gal previous times sa alabay matmera 28 mat 29 1 o'clock ra 28 telmo 5 next day 29 matmera 8 ngari mo nga 8 o'clock set tribal sabil fluctuate lang mle ako mle request was sabil di mo mregara a 8 telmo 12 or 1 o'clock monti mo yor adel el veterans sabil may maul mong mal ngil tial presidenta I got previous 2 times ra lemay selbe bilang say last year our veterans o de wal mel was te dirigar tilang magrang mo wala trial urge ra adel was put aside at that time first come first serve mo daw nga sulala minister MHSS el kongel those pairs ay gidle community guidance center itiang aong del time tira mabrur ngi mong important trigel mla file a claim right previous 2 times silbe bilet tang mawabiel mal it takes about 30 days ay gale email arrive mergo musel trial figure out was ang rastarus ra claims tiring namo too late belang ang ngwil teal lesel metriga ang arya through wifi hospital it access a database ra VA mung sabir online ito mong tingel was ang mga rastarus ra a claim tir mal sum kum le file a claim ngari a question gal gira claim ragaw mer segi del time ra elal 28 ma 29 ra ay gale direct sur time edik edel was ngari ay gale advisory committee bel forming a VA mangkale Nobertiano gigi de ter bela ora segi del advisory committee elal Friday ngari a virtual meeting ra sel subcommittee tegi ligang mang agi mo ringi ra ngara 8 to 9 di 1 hour timer bela 8 to 9 edreglo si sul time tegi le advisory committee amna rulia survey el di 1 page form survey agi oba ka piringi magi mo ngul posteringi sele Facebook page ra mam directly sur time trigger sorry hard copy civil el contact agi email malu bagi text segi del mo el ngani a series of questions ma propose the solution Michael agi the problems el tira agi that ma identify mong agi tiadir tilo dre agi iru real tutau tegi del survey form mong agi riolo bengele el al Friday agi mom dengel was how much time we have to complete the questionnaire submit el mora veterans affairs mong ngora amral mo to activity tegi mo ora asule mer tegi el teal el moso amel me mo kong embassy mora abulur bela was tegi del mral mel la claims outreach mal important mal medical del veterans del tactical beneficiary delivery our veterans margal gira veterans leader to mila ud mal mo kaya question til was to qualify the momla benefits alamay the only way you can find out o mas ka question mesegi mong di segi dem le sal yang al sumon ya gere agi imnar outside the table was egel ger a clarence answer
Ngara gero.
Oy, di mre kadim nutro ko di clarify set claims seng again medical issue marwa other benefits or
Ayer y rogul Same qualified for, some prior service, agil service related. Paluben dia mo niyak masikaw mlaming la imam, but you don't know masik maybe it was service related. And sa MMM mo do trail counselors and they'll help you. Magimal encourage sa beklad veterans, no matter what your status is. Hindi mo sa tilk masik, so you'll have a ideal was mga they'll give you a good advice. So mal encourage sa bekl veterans ng Palau. El more seguido el time. Ma'am Sula.
Tamal lang a veteran sa bela ilang. Tingnan mo na ba yung word?
Yola ba 147 ang ngakla. Estimate was tangara over 300 ang arbelaw. Elang tangani tirigel almle sign up serve 2 years. Ito se lo vera time do urtireto to kora feel was en dial and the veterans to serve mong so they're qualified veterans. Was lo going clearance was altang arni benefits tiri qualified for balmay agi mal encourage sa rogul la del ngarbelaw la serve US military la access ay tagi the opportunity.
Dia sulang President ngirmang klau tu tela akpreng sulang media ng artian mga sayam si lo ay sir adrablu. Lagi da so encourage local veterans bol aware egel benefits certire bol wasagel te al mortir. Kadiri kan bedenge wase under current arrangement egel medical benefits atibul restricted medical set ngar bela malay egel benefits. Ma taram leurel tial veterans association emal every time nga ako del may malubang yidil negotiation ito dio maklat kargi de diri maklat kart blue ramregel and that's why mnamoria an oberta diri parte sel committee wasi ali la mo be certical veterans el kira gal FAS so sel di wai sini ase sel mle propose del language compact amo address egid issue our veterans and medical benefits tir sel ngara blue belo mal gal Beber FAS. Of course, I'm sure you have questions later, but the Minnesota share was go to Territorial Association, support them, and if you have any years of service, please come out and get see the counselors. So, Sula. Kung alam sa
Tiedra one information kung mention ng mal important po ng elang even elal chills yang arnya tiga members ra kala ngal minister health alam tong li tiga ngar arms the staff for armed services committee almel mo tour hospital multitask schedule tira di at tumle request was me gibometer tira aeroplano era sata tege dele visit hospital mong Bral lara a Congress Brigel mo government Brigel mo realize was etia trigal el veterans ng ara kay del FA states away al to ramla mo moitra drong nila egal formality ra was US jurisdiction ng outside the US jurisdiction ng aktel mo sige dia mo ko ati so edrin mo egal dilong.
Yeah, and one of the things that we made it clear to Veterans Affairs, Madirigal Secretary of Defense, siya ako meter tira kasi Madirigal mal swadan bruri. I encourage tigal veterans aling 300 ang arbelo. Di I'm sure the borang brigalang ngalak tiral telael. En swada lutil mermen di dal sil mermen sum de kalung legal tela legal benefits and mertir so kom sulang. Tial association or belal tira mal blagarandir el advocate el gira la activity and I think we've made progress but of course there's always more to be done so sula hindi mo morale ego ko tial num sa lieutenant Antonio maluk tibulo ay sige dahil luk elal buil en anti human trafficking awareness month maguktik sa tial وخلبول الشارع كذا هي الاكتيفيتي سرتير ما يلوك نمرور على التلوين سلام
كمرام شولان مستر بريسيدنت مدتال مرار بكلا هذا مغمول المطلوبين عشان تلتي على المي من داقي بلول توب المرابين دي tiama lo kodal dal bul ramam tiagi chen mandra blem proclaim ring washing anti human trafficking awareness month ya al mshada atarbengel ma investigation ra tora human trafficking ma lubum people trafficking ya issue da kalsat ma tol adam dangali ra blur belau ma gespera nidil te al malas al adres tel issue mara al bekla adr belau dia kalsat mes di تام لور المون اندي مرال يجاجيد التقرا ترافيكينج اللي مرال مقلوع شاب الواد ويدرن ليبور اورن سكس ترافيكينج تجاجيد المان ده مستر بريسيدنت مع الميديا كلودور الجيل اوتريتش بروجرام مع اكتيفيتيز اللي يجيبوا مرور لما نبغى مرور الجيل لا ابرجلا anti-human trafficking ablo belau basically human trafficking malubang people trafficking ablagarado kodo mengarger arbebirarad whether through labor services or through sex work sel tora mengarger arbebirarad kada pasen sebe logio ala blad malubang qawla ra'bo ulaqtaqta mergo esperar ade mengerger tira dia kangralung sel dulu aseng labor untuk tokol ada malubut ala ada tiga advantage ser ada rango dulu especially mengabla dar tire of the trill mervela muturior mergo ngede galudu del ngaragel meralu ududir malubut te du sper til gire legal services provide dia ka monetary gain langai malubung ora benefits linya malbador al selbelar al time direg selguk tungun moratora sex trafficking mlahapena before jaga del adrango del blue direg ngalga direg molchus marabai jagida as victims ese maktugu dernya wasit tangarnya blagarado ngara outside America Southeast Asia ada mo addict tra makitelgar to spegal makitelgar lo ngam ada mo addict emergo to tit exploited tir whether through labor services or ngidil ngod teletal including la sexual gratification agim la stat el modo du a school magim la mora mi sentir eli arngalgeda mal vulnerable through internet and several victims are other diagal ngar alsela blur belaw diagal mal msisi regulation gire la internet alsela blur belaw ma arngal gamal exposed al morabik pedingela diagal dilungil bagrad al mam kitel bagrad ra internet ya ar ada mal several los pese gidel te al exploit ra ngal gede logiwa internet mangaring activities el albul gibla mamul marul medik mo ati alam sang kala amber oror officer gamam dingil me introduce ringi wang nga kadri ko lobon tri ulbange kalma terul investigators magi madite wang te ya arang lela anti human trafficking unit jadi unit ngar engela division of transnational crime emrong mal klongra al giblangu len jagi dim تدري قبل أمندرا الله الواسم موجودام لونغرا التاجي الجيل اليونيت ريبورت المرا بلور أمريكا الجيل لا تيب ريبورت أسسمنت رابك الراق إمرقوني أوسيل تام الجيل ريبورت المرا البيرا غلولاو راجل إفورت سرقمام الجيل لا جيل ريكومنديشن راسل الجيل تيب الواسم راجي ممرول الملاش من الأدرس الجيل له أنتري أدرا أمريكا ماجي أدرس الجيل لا مقلون ولا tialure led ma inland el gire la tip report direct el active mo musesel gire la babira alla la mongo lo giba tagi de lurior bator makti mot musesei especially togora sentencing ulingi tradro olbil rilia besel alla alwasing almutu takr tiala ra people trafficking adi bol globus malu lolu daw daw tamlamo kolbus mulu daw daw rosi time mang dire kal tarata tlang tingala gigi dalla albel pas dire kal mornya a minimum الولا بلالسا سوم قدم سوا داو داو قد نوصل أرنغ لسه الغط الماكسيموم المانيتري فاين هو one half رني one half one third شيء كده one third شيء مينيموم البلسلة مانيتري فاين اللي يرتجل human trafficking which is mal كلو كلو effort كده الانفستيجيت Mr. President but our victims كده الملامي through تجد لوبيس over the years since 2018 ما دي مقسم لا مرة غرغريله جالوبيس أدري قلت تراكرا أيقال بتوقع الأرض دعارنيل جيلا United Nations lo oltrogok لما تيرا victims ما تسقوم تيجال victims mal traumatized مداقتلو تتاكلن تيرين موتل really vital experience na madala gargaril ma during the process en kada mo tira crowd suira la kal sori lo tutak le omsin rata misel lo tutak le kada mutulo mura ule o gera ayek todo lo mru lo blodru nya tirgal adel bay mo ula sare lo suira ngan bada del time mo kada focus a emro ngul prioritize el rase mental stability ma starus ma heldrad kad bay ko ngel jagdor tutak len din jagdor stop a services provider mortir tokora gurul ma counseling dilbor shegi de gulngit ma amber introducing emergo el sauda gel bebira program dirgo model
Malungil tutaw nga kang klaka Amber Osima and I am the victims advocate del obisa kamam. Maktimo do elagel bledu nga OIC kamam. We have started ongoing work ratokora community outreach ma capacity building initiatives. We have completed some workshops with law enforcement stakeholders, Agim Lamora School, and then we have our upcoming outreach with what we consider our vulnerable populations. Ngora dakadil el alman they ongoing throughout the year, but I just want to convey an important reminder that human trafficking is not only a human rights issue, it is an issue on healthcare, a climate change issue, cyber safety issue, and many more. Intersect bakpadingala range of issues. Na ula giblo emphasize sa gibora blue malubagi mrula training ng ma'am say why it is very important that we properly address this issue because hindi detrimental to the economy but to our society as a whole. Maktingut te alle orang asulala tigal giblo loria lobang tetrir to kunyar other labor ma immigration and our primary NGOs because without them hindi kasabel mrula ikarweram. A majority of our work, we collaborate and we coordinate with our partners, including services, outreach, and including fostering proper investigation efforts. Brief remarks.
Bismillah.
Tara self-report direkal specify 2023 siyam na niya bebila cases ongoing yung na-close sa mga niya what's ongoing makta kani wasang niya isa ni legal case sel one case ongoing siyam na niya charge niya or has there been any charges official kalmura any violators
the last reporting period of 2023 Adimlak. And the
So for our last reporting period, which covers covers April or March 2022 up to 2023 of March, there was one person that got convicted, and he was after finishing his sentence, he was sent back home.
In terms of ongoing cases, ongoing cases?
We have ongoing cases at the moment. Yes.
medik tali dire kaltara talang tingil lagi sila almil gat moklo ay gal cases sa mo undersil may ka role victims ma angarang mo da kalkura suwa rabuay understandable ay gal traumatization of through Mendia kalsura da really traumatized tir and ngari ongoing cases ma dire kal ngari other belang tedre susceptible al muray gagi del lagarada man dire kal ngari ongoing case ray gay dia kada sal mal rumeng sa gagi del case lang ngora abarrotol ending effort ngari di mal gegre ay ligi mal di tedel investigator ma amber osimal victims at bagetar kamam agi provide housing dire kal mal ngari awduda mal gegrel sibel provide agora dalang clear ma clear mergo tangar bela especially foreigners kada mengira agar tir selbol mregal decide el mral ya gi sender tir mang mal ngowi de la skill awdu provide assistance medical food al mortir dire kal mal agi mal loltura NGOs lo nser mam provide shelter sel los pea tokora de lo
el altime kado mesara aklungel klakang godang al dimrael moklo yang arang itial recent litigation kal adra sinal miltamal mang kada aro darel ang so ngarang ya el alora la klakang godang al moklo ngarang ya ako ramlamang ot aureri ulo mes el kirel segi de los sekelel tial tokora human trafficking lobangel tial tokora klakang godang al moral moklo
almaral tokoy omsindra victim sergida adrango del blue bang aigal talamal de expect nga mata del mrey akad expect el mugurolo lo bangela economy wa bekel blue ma travel adrango del blue madrur bela malut makir bela agi kaltmok le namut telgi bil gora mius amadamam ma aigal bebira training el gibla boringir over the years adiri gal gam lama amadamam el girela وعشان راسب إذا المرول البريفنت مغراسب إذا الرمي بسود وغير أيجاجيد الديشير هذا المسويسب الديشير هذا المسويسب الديشير ريبورت ما قلونيل ما vulnerability على هذا المرارة اللونيل أيجال بلو من ويسيد لورا الإقامة المقلو الديشير foreigners المي وشيل تام exposure other بيلال مر outside ang mesois ba pekul ba dengan la tele la crime ma role la kami ta crime
adi to question nga ki ako ta kakula set atel victims sa anti-trafficking mostly arangot obelo ting ngariar other belau kamle mention ra lalakaran mo involve ra selbol by sel nga niya victims and other belawing how are they treated differently than egal ko as a human trafficking alo bang to fall under a different category
Dia klaka crucial victims rogo abay gora advantage ra victims el other belaw abiota carrying el mortil beota ma tele investigation ngungila me ay wa aldo ya ka do lo wi de la dosiga translator ma monmu trato gora de long ok mon beota skela de long ok ma housing ma victim sergi da telgi bil bay beota da handler tir rabai victim serang odar bulu
le mention ra selva say under seal seng ngala ngara sel ne pas la require under seal ngaringi understand the self protect victims di pesal is kukisang is media sometimes self report taygang hindi na serve as a deterrent particularly as kuma sentencing wangarang ngayon role lang sa release sa information protect the victim but at the same time Ikom inform abulula sa ikang ngaring iltokol marahil sa edro to day kay kita tokoy.
Ngay siya. Ang buto kapag patingin na role legam ay cycle tokol morabulu. Ang jakal sa sarili dultoy la awasang ngaring ongoing ilgay siya victim at telargile ngana. And so edro spe statistics sa yan na mo meregal case na modru record siya gida regal tararole regal spell mo do adrabulu. Kategori ra age ma sex ma regal sebe edro level ol si sakla adrabulu e wasang mangara a trend de wangara a kalungal tial talaman marara sila blue belaw statistics ma a baby rangot lomrul malul lakrada sabe del mat al rumul al diabologi wa agora wasing tagida agi silul taut e do la bay gi do si sakra adrablu agum nasum beto kaungil e ngot arala sedologi al diabologi wa agora tokora ongoing cases.
Yeah, I think just as a follow-up, close to la CC rela mlamre angolel ngari active unit lorol girel haklakan tel tokol zedro ase kadam nal mutres misi aurera del girel tel lorol, and that's I think what's important. You can report them medium. So perpetrators beware. I think it's close to the message that we get out there.
The last follow-up, especially at that point, mangaringa ko ra ako siya kwasing last they'll move from tier 2 mo tier 1 move ra status rigid.
Hindi, siya overall lang siya mokte. Adram rigela ulit mal help rigid tiya lurior mga rigel patukal activities ma urior mga IOM is exactly to address siya rigid the move rigid from tier 2 to tier 1. And that means investigate and prosecute to the full extent of the law. That's why and the world expects us to prosecute to the full extent of the law. Sulang lieutenant sulang tim rigidara anti-human trafficking. Ako orang asal vital saya dalam minister tentu medik continue morgau ma uka boleh melbai ukti update tersel meeting kita mungkin uka tetela marketing ma gomesa direktor ka youth ngartiang.
Saya malungi tu ta president ma ministers ma ada video roy. So officially announced musel el do lo mangela partner gidra piak ma sojits mahaneda airport amla kadana consummate resell agreement lo bentrir ma sojits mo officially marketing partner gidra shabal etamna tabdia gidra seungil not only dire kon sir gidra skojo tenamon ngasih gidra marketing se trato ko lulukon ya president musel al sign agreement ng wala ko team le management team na marketing efforts namo se adalo da kyar but namo partner a PVA mong ulmu elite tem nomre gal sign chairman doctor ma tegelu komptera sojits mona comprehensive marketing plan strategy akti suakal wadi dai tax modia a brief omsodel amok tigar gidra sel digital marketing atral target ra kasagilan 10 million ara shaban kora mass digital marketing el direct clol part ringia amo malasa lo riolo bangala kakarusel airlines kitel madingat mo amral mail March April en muna 4 charters el Batik Airlines el tira direct el partner sa el efforts dito dire lo mes ay rohul kakarusel kora connection el Merbelaw Singapore Australia Taiwan Korea sel under the agreement at mo nga seurgida dekal dil shabal te dire lo nga seurgida Korea sigida ko rasokal di announcer ni president o sisulta me kwa kiul moratora youth el al March next month ang youth day ang March 15 mang kadangal tangat ng artelo bangeda Chief Youth Division of Youth and Career Development, Mr. Sylvester Alonso. Megul ngit ringi melkora mosmodi segi del wikergit. In partnership with the Ministry of Education, etamla decide mo move sel gupne cultural awareness wikertir, mo week before segi del wiker akuk activities ra youth. Mgora mo wal 2 weeks silbato ka activities ra cultural aspect ringi megel kukora atalang tingin la otutel tial youth policy git el colonia mental health. Malway se paigul ngitra chief mulwa mosmodi ya tara close partner git lo bangel tanga cat team. Mengkabong chief was modi sel detail ra segi del week.
Monsieur le Ministre, Mr. President, tout à media ma adalo mestre tegid la sils kultura sus by umula na sa tegid event tegid la March 15 recognizing il hali there will be allowed National Youth Day. Kultura segid go Mr. Minister ngag ma Minister of Education was so the partner and make I get 2 weeks of meeting from our youth open our options some more la trigger our school book community youth. Kultura telurira division of youth and career development and our Bureau of Human Resource. I got mock activity will take place to say that week on March 11 and March 15. So start to say it on Monday and then build up by get events on March 15. Why you not more minister partners together say that we got Masara SPDC Small Business Development Center the sister take the career development side. Madra take the NGO youth the National Youth and Other Council. El chairman Miss Bella Miss Diray Antonio. My Ministry of Health, regular Division of Human Services, my Division of Behavioral Health. So, do you say the Gobat Day, the team MOE, calendar school consideration, to our Omanang mess. Like you say, the theme was the start to say on Monday on mental wellness symposium, and then start their career development the 3 days, and build up my job and internship fair on Monday Thursday. And then say the to Friday, go 5K Youth Day walk and run. Or event to commemorate the Year of Good Health, the Presidential Directive Wellness Executive Branch. Aktiong ito talo kuk smodi ay galing kuk tito to say give makoro tiyo siya siya ay galing event. So Monday March 11 our national gym tutan mo imita swelbo. The activity mo invite nga school. Kada email target 300 nga school. El Hafel High School ra tutaw. Mo Hafel 8th grade afternoon. The tour or the middle minister was at the most speed dating event. So they say go speed dating and then access resources. Akna invite the partners in May was instead of rule the okla ngalga school or a presentation and ngalak the telalbo was by the related station and 5 back within a station nganya theme ringi. Logi take it overall theme. So consideration melang mess melang smad. The start that were overall mental wellness, community health workers, and emotional intelligence, team school health, CAT team, CAT 8904, Army 8409, Army team physical fitness, discipline, family services unit, social services available, and then lastly, more division of behavioral health, suicide prevention. Mental health and male theme priority health and healthy lifestyle sa youth policy. But then interscholastic youth forum mental health and ng issue. This wall mo nokting minister mo tiragal youth sa long the was there are aware I youth issues. The vice sort mo man was nga get resources sa biro sparing. Sige da ko rin lang obingel committee nga director ng NYCC mo. By the planner take the first day el hit the target health logo experience maguk expertise together other hospital akmo we break up the audience and we're saying it so that program start the interactive learning and then to school they take away something from that so say the event to target the in school youth so the where I get rest days career development in March 12 in the morning you say the resume writing workshop March 13, Address for Success workshop. Do the event and build up a Mercedes job and internship fair. Or at that level, they invite go youth in our community out of school or out of job youth. Altura the Bella Youth start their national NYCC ilang reps 16 states. Nak melusa bablingan ang chairman at oningit mo. Morigay the resume writing dress for success in preparation at job internship fair. Ki molingit mo repra state mo pledge attend the lobangila one at risk youth ang sa community ningi. Of course, I repra state. They know their communities better than I could. Mak oningit the more was ka pledge attend I gave the workshop ma dress for success was invite the one at risk youth RSVP and mertel event lang wal Dora space sa unmakwas ng isa cut off was for Tuesday ma Wednesday ngani limit the other we can accommodate them and then I'm going to waiting list so the book move to schedule I get the event and build up a more say job and internship fair so get the number National Youth and Other Council ma pupebla states ma youth reps last then wrap up say the Dora Elder Youth Day 5K walk and run the ngun more say the was morning back putting activity youth and then ang la division the other sagel more boy it invited the youth in our school out of school youth mo ngani back putting activity physical fitness activity wellness activity ma career development activity ma open and move the invitations there information ang our division of youth and career development mga ngani agyer ngan sebala other reach out to my ministry to Say the Minister and President Musulang.
Finally, President, indirekal segidal tutaw Mr. Ngirman kablol kora Kavira Sports. Ngaringi direkal partner gidra Palau Triathlon Federation, el morning Spring Aquathlon. El morning 1,000 meters swim, morning 5K run lo bangeda tiang ema seo bangela kada mangigair murto. El direkal morning segidal tutaw ra 15 lo mo ra elol moklok ra tedo el mo 6:45 sel check in ya actual event mo ra 7 trigel ko koram sisi il ngi gaer murt adre kal ngani te lil ko mor seged tara activity dige gida president Sulang
Mara question
Minister Sulang Minister Kaligara so sit lang ako la kasi so mi reach lang 10 million Japanese wala market tiyan ngani stats la lo tio se la time effort gid lang la kada reach out matela
last egal imam ade amle marketing strategy gid amle cancel convention marketing strategy mumlarnya representative gid el mitra agent mungda durtir mora jata mora Osaka fishing show seda kado ndaka bolak mong kadam strategy kita mo to transition mo digital at the same time kada retain ngani adal the retainer ngi luk ngar elel mru silo traditional marketing asya pala ko ngara transition mo mo klol adal dir ka require adal mong dadur ngi material ko ti ngara masil ko mong dita maral tablong ding jakal sar klo budget git mo kada real ko within the budget rigidal di agi omrat mo digital marketing a klo sa well reach ngi etya partner gidra sojit sa terge to ko obviously til sela shabal mutta mo spe agi rogul resources til mo se gidal make sure en batokal ada mo madang libelo traditional linggo tem nemring ukti tergel omal albakla mar honeymooners di ela kada malas mal guk moramas we can reach as many people as possible with digital marketing. Etya kadil support tagel elatam ndaka airline mang tamala sa maloro lo mangela batik osiga direct flights the president to the lurtik mong klo to tela mass marketing will help other airlines United China airline altam gigida motor til merbelo
kita blood focus aigal direct flights rashaval the United is the biggest carrier tourist rashabal merbela etigam la resume aigal good flight til merbela connect rakwam that they used to have before ang Eliza January and almost 600 passengers 530 am na rashabal merbela so at least dirga mal dirga msisi ayeng I mean msisi adalar mong mitu tayeng but slowly maral merbaben and that's why we really need to ramp up aigal marketing efforts agid rashabal and United is ready to carry it. In fact, we just learned today, United will have direct flights from Haneda and Morakwam starting in May. So more opportunities for passengers and of course in Morakwam connected Merbela. I'm excited that I get special charter flights that would start, and hopefully they become regular flights. Direkal sumnam da question ma Ministerio Octobora Ministera Health. Sa teal Minister Gafar polo ko ay sige dramal exciting program I think ang namo about a year and a half do rol girel sel partnership rigida ma Guam Cancer Care no sa del sana MOU sila December material adra timra Guam Cancer Care amal dirigam ler bela ora tiel nombre el Sunday am nartel al weekend e mira el en so kam sa teal man uklo ay sige may upbeber activities ra MHHS sula.
So lang Mr. President, magtulungi tutan mo ra beklat. Ngay sa tirigel adra Guam Cancer Care later last week. Gina madangil wa sa dila President December last year kadam lesan MOU Lobuntri. Sa partnership mukta kaningi awal ledel madal. Ako tumamalas sa malulong sa urgi del lulong sa our cancer patients urgi access a more affordable therapy malugong mitigation. Siya wan na ongero nga tadirek kalmol nga sayur gidra kuk tokoy specialist ra at tokoy ra guru ra kasino mal sa makral lol nga sayur gidel al malartil may gida madingil sa nga niya kuk existing al partnership gid marwa canvas pa ma shingong kuk malar specialist siya direk kalmotara amadala uriol do uriol lobon tiri. Sa longede akuk tokoy ra prevention ma screening tidirek el willing el meo nga sayur gidra kuk tokoy ra osis akl ma prevention na tokoy ra okubilarak del carcinoma mang sel mera last week ngani ako ra tara a patient el mesabe el mosuir sel kuk tokoy ra akar gida madingil wase tokoy ra guru ra carcinoma gidel mo ra referral el main telgi belon ngosong sa coverage ra a healthcare fund del mosuira adel ngia require gal malmering la aral lugurura carcinoma. Masayigita tara tokora uriolo menteri. Hopefully in the next 2 months, ikamama mo sa amlugukura akut baklia process ra aurior. Lagire lagay del tril el madal aurior makata di ngita adar media lo se da pastria te al mgimut makli sayigiti. Igi bu ma announce akura formal process ra gigi del uriolo menteri ending. What I can say now in terms of the accessibility, more affordable cancer treatment, close savings and more takadil more republic, but especially for cancer patients. Direct tara swadal kora uay sengit elang ada matingilo sel bangel sel tax reform ang ni sel magit social assistance ma self fixed income social assistance ay tablol program el luldimokra child raising subsidy wal kaldel program ng arsegi the tax reform act hindi so kalo ay so sila time magim la finalize ay mo regulations so segi del informal magit social assistance ma fixed income mo through APA process so kado mes ra April mo usab edel announce ra application process ma deadline tirigel ku kadra magit masugra 15,000 and less el mamalar segi del social assistance program o sisil time ang direct kalmuto bata announcement tulgo kirela next round la child raising subsidy ese ngara regulation 90 days after endra tax year makdomes ngara March 30 deadline ra kuk application say gida madingil sa sila the roll out tercera last year ang ngara 131 ngal ka amlo sabi il ngusel kuk child raising subsidy $100 per child mong kula di announce sa igang ya official announcement mo to direct ko sa dalo ay sa jaiga ngel intensive care nurse ra jaiga mlamay mong uriolo menteri nurse ri del mo utilize sa brand new ICU facility dia brand new dim lamot tarak dia ka dos pe ringileng require sa gid training mo sa amlo mes sa mal way di sirang ra nurse sa dos pe maintain operation sa gid del vessel intensive care unit tangat-tangat kading ilul logiwa gesura adra syabal direct kalsada lo ay salwasing through rangesura Australia ya tartirgal toktang ni gidel abelaw Dr. Chun Rafael amo sa bel kuk nguate alel mo train mo orthopedic doctor so segura part tra long term kuk human resource workforce development planning ida matingilo set tirigel current bes toktang tilo dra Cuba for wal blal polmera internship ngani terung dirga in the pipeline el mol ngaseo hospital di kita kora stagger til tirigel kuk ngani urungulil mo further training til mo rakakros specialty umur nga gidel Dr. Jun Rafael mo sa marian mo mala training ako gurura iyo sa orthopedics sa mga direct sa dal announcer say last but not least akum daswa other anti-human trafficking ako lo mention na social media agimla notice lo sa imboto ka ndakal botok ngania baby ra fake el profile ra Ministry of Health and Human Services to kunya TikTok sa dalawa sa MHHS sa dakal TikTok profile makatadiyo maklat karabekla lo sa please source information legal official profile sa legal kakrusel government agency including health ngani perswili sil tilob namang ko diso dalo ay sil gidel sil maklat kar adra bululo sa hindi ka rokul tokol nga social media official malubong marang mang daw ngita sa gidara bekla de sulang mal ngani questions
Edik soal di other seluk tokora casino ma. Kita mendingan statistics amna todo hace 58% artigel rada mora المسمار akasi amo casino ma. And I think awa celtara blol de sanga tablol ngara ikrel bela ngara gurun mal mom gategat. Mang important part del programa mo milisi selo asat sel ngara bela mala career mero hopefully eventually mo say the ling artiang Twitter tira wala chemo mga say agora long term plan I think we kada develop a capacity gidel bring people back to be with their families el los pangos say dira tara ko toklo lukurun say dal help ringa radam kabong
ya point ngin din ko amor ka
oi kabo
ay gidel kal el moria ko lista el official social media sa yal different ministries yim lo la ma blo share ay gid yam yimol if we have a list mo da sam what we can share just suggestion
the manuel undas maybe we should prepare a list sula one question
Yes. Minister President, convention tayo del cancer treatment. Nalakalwid ang direct beginning ra administration we're talking about maybe setting aside a space for that kind of treatment. Tokor tirigel mong may awan ra cancer nek mil sa pabiling lata patient tan mura olpi ra kalulaw el wasing tomorang mulat Taiwan mura the process and mending every so many months and girel mo malara treatment cost ang ilmo ma me ako medosisyon arala treatment mang tial kami tialo rolo bangkela kwam cancer care ngaring ako ra other ways other resolution on more the problem because this is not it's been going on for decades I think ngara ko ra beside ra kwam ako ko ra maldi depend ra kwam to provide that care ngaring ako ra other services in the pipeline.
Wai say sulang ra malungil gere lay. Akum das sing say dal dila president. Kodo ko omes tiang teal da ko pilot ra a process sa ideology ngi. Hopefully al makatmok kon mungil sa ideology approach ra baby ra partners and din direct to ko ra a cost. May lat time limitation sa national health insurance kung das 35,000 a year sabi extend mo 2 years almost 70,000 hindi lula HCF at time direct kalgiral amot chance wasen sabi hindi nga Palau mala treatment mo coverage at time ang walgira ngara off island yakang sa gidel benefit so agi direct kala mo sa ngira ko border HCF hindi atara til to era malasam establish ra ko oncology unit or hospital makatatal to hindi tara limitation sel agel chemotherapy infuse klo magat magila to ko also sa may masel medical waste sel bio waste so igigida kuk pebir akora amaklo tutelel diakdo tas hindi gira del malgut mok kul mawngil mong beere kuk tokora besel hospital as el monex el press conference hindi of course domesra numbers so bagil president temran na mo gira delom dasura oncology unit or some support system el ngaringir belaw le domesra IDC ra adel smer el time ma the project el most smer in the future adi maran morba so dokora omesa say
And that's why a process of continued building capacity, building partnerships, but at the same time, what equipment, for example, kadamla ang vessel MRI rigid, ngaya vessel CAT scan and may, ay help rigid ra diagnosis le tara vlada batigarino se selsum kada momeo del matigar rakta kadeba te liral kadeba klar til survive. It has to be a combination of things. That'll help prevention side, help detecting early, getting treatment earlier so that more effective treatment. And then, of course, so Guam Cancer Care has been helping. Guam has also been going through that transition. So that's there's something we can learn from them. Sure.
Last question, Presidenta. If I'm not mistaken, mystery nominee sa kaon mora Senate and more sel board sel mo
Hospital Authority.
administration yaoy. Ang waras taro sa sila.
Kung wala sa board, alam na mo. There are two more confirmed there, but almost. Yeah.
Ultuta Presidente, kung malungil armo dela kung tigim basangar tilang mang tigim moriate mang kukupus kumya ultas ma question. Kung Mr. Presidente kung naskora A+. Dahil tiging emil mora outsider bela. Mabir kaul mora Republicans sa Senate. Michael tu podcast ka mani isa bisara tutaw. Malobrada kal tu koy mahalit por seguir mabir ka keskat pas ka questions. Ako te Silva Birgao kadilulo siya Maria offer el may lomge kay kal room offer national me lomge kay kal hotel room bela Maria offer rusir 20 million ra 2 acres el call center ma question aseng aigal offer igal tablol offer nilogor ka personally al uben nora minister state ma with official len ngora kumam la media kimla ka kagir ko ka kimwes kamu ay sa sigid kingilu sigid mit clear ara ta congress amrigel nga kamal umra sigid gel adam bigel aram di amre liang ali pasaigal supplemental budget ma umeru el asil tingin lo se di alam to de galudo de me ngangi tigel leaders ngar belau el do business lo tira sina tomol ko un flip patel dolong la belau matai wa ko sina magora question na gawasi tirga to at leaders mul gortil leaders ngar government ra olbi maru administration lo til leaders ngar outside seguida tatara ke lego mul e vaidik chude ngartia ko morat adik ka question na abdik paskara ko mora special prosecutor Belmotre la sins indirga ka SP alla ase 6 months tunis na la appoint interim SP ala mengir gaul se mo appoint ke regular ngire leke ngaringi sel el geisra adawli IOA el soal mon musul del modia kakel keislen ngaringa decision na korte na to lo sendia engel assistant SP elom era government soal mol musul lagi mal maklol geis madrid geis pending el sils el mal under investigation sa oral engel SP ndilo lo ase to ga felony cases under investigation di complex min kirel mal mol el ay ken kirel ger mang al suko mal obrada que dik paska by the way ako mesa que interview gaw Hindi ka malungin, hindi iwara amel was. Kung at least ko mas mama medical information, malmring sila kung mula information how to swim. Lato ko yung mo sa ngara outside. Bulto mo.
Hindi kami ganun. Alakat sa tersel. Kami sa trakampak tayo bilak mulmulo bis mo kan mo remind na. We will have one question at a time. Di gotrule kidam dengan wasa abluram regel. Amle proposal wasa tial tora kampak tayo ng arsel supplemental budget. Mga bakora amlani hope rin wasa tial supplemental budget lo magila Ukraine ma Israel ala area tial ledan almarael. Umlani first bablinga mo kamal el president rayal kaldel blue. لو مقلات كلام ريال وساليا أكتوبر 1 أسيام لا يتاج نجري المتقور شيء التايم يقوم يوم لا يتيس التايم المدلي يصير ما يسيجي ده أدرى قال بلوما ما مطريب السبب غير تيال دلويل هيدو أستيام مرال مم سيسي مرال مم بيتوت غورا سيل eroding of confidence من ما رجال يملوس التدل البريزيدنت ما رجال دي من individual كلوس Dice otra vez, o sea, el last del Silva, ver si el milsal tilo de la news, se me lo tiré el senator, el tiré el Vladimir tir. Tiré será over the times el de Washington, tiene negotiation a compacta. Y cada uno me example era el influencer a blur asina, al ser a blur belao. Ahí el tablo el tol dulzador al selse, ahí la happen a blur belao. Sel ahí era call center a Ruira da será ضروري تن ناري أمساد الجيران. دخل directly منا عندي ملاي أمساد وقام نايا تملا 2 kilometers را أبلورا أنغرت ماو. If you recall, سل مغا سير reference مرة قال تقول نادو será of course será ضروري ما نجيل أمباسادورا أسينا أمني directly مغا دورنا قالوا أسي. كم مال دي switch yang mau pergi ke rogul hotel ya turis tak merderasinan. Oh ya. Maya adi ulaktat kan mortigal sa lidro sa yel tilur komi ay gigit. Di kita dari kan mending nase President of Senate has been on record el supporter ablurasina. In fact, most recently mlarisel resolution el tilo. I don't know if you remember the resolution or a Senate el walom toga a misel sel mera blur velo. Oye, sel al sumo como sel resolution and exactly o si se clela blur asina el mora igal blur atayo lo hace. We need to maintain peace, escalate, create a risk el morablo. So, al sumo como da igal togo sel dolus mortigal senator seguida cuando me hace. Ayayida issues ra bluma. Ara adra bluma ma already te sebe garantir atial kami ospera bluma. Edegam motirak laigel kami narmur al selat lebil. Meng sea ulang moria klolo dobla sea kita kadal kira del mutro me sertial del willer gin. Meng ayayida Adomes, di kita belakang kerada belal na demonstrate wasya a klausel ergi dra mangela ataiwang am sisi am lemol sisi omara to lo wasay ngire dal magalo mangela blul gida taumbrar gidra to sisu maria respect gida rule of law maria kadang Gadomara tokora democracy michichungil government sel dongara yel interview ya adoso de milisi se lo hace kida omarang lo hace through the democratic process etel kampakta amotogoy ding sometimes in dekal sal this modeling al blura sinan di order a shieng di mrael di amrigela dekal sal se la Biden lo aisel di order en mrael ngirel motrura a process di wayida dangar belau
Mau biar kau bukti melora Republican ra Senate, dimna mora Democrat ra Senate, mau Republican ma Democrat ra House.
Amlor tirgel kita amle mitter tir.
Dimna.
Direk nama angari amlamora House. So just to give you some information, no ser 24 senators assign a Babier el الموترو السيسة برا سيل التورا كامباكترا سيل supplemental it failed to pass.
Mel mutra la si sindical sis.
Oh, lo degal sisi per sel supplemental. Di sel supplemental a miran mor house e madra house. Ngod tila unding and this is the interesting part sa daldulea sa Ingeluk Republican el chairman of foreign affairs sa house el McCall au kulay so ase agimo make sure tiat mura supplemental and mura ndi tia importante ligel marayan. Ikita dim dengan lo ase ablu ram rigela iga tiga di soril malak credit ase tia cloud to trade toy ntangelo babanderan an mo score tia toy mela el aruk Republican sa house o sen tia ngara la magimo ruli. Gita di soda al merul ma cloud to trade la information al bora our congressman mar constituents tir mang nakamal open na interview hindi tiga outside mal sorry interview mang in fact na mo 10 kagaraw sa interview akari everything from the diplomat to NBC News to Forbes to anyway got him ran 12 but Sydney Tribune anyway mal batok so RNZ live on ABC News Australia actually interview gidra ABC News Australia tulgira say what can Australia do makase malbeot I guess persel dori million al sebele di motto da dori miskamam ndi ko se adirigal tara mal iruli adirigal communicate ro mangela o se lemil adram regel wa se motir klet al bile gidat makal ngartial el tayo lo mra imol toy mang malemre da foreign minister Penny Wong al uk reporter ase akplamadora ambasadora Australia Ramrigel el mamadora Congress Ramrigel adire mamadora ambassador li doli tin ase sel Taiwan caucus sel uk tigel walo dubra supportra Taiwan is the largest caucus at the US Congress house ma doli tin ase uk mamadora ngel lam termin Washington el oral street trigel ngara house mala support trigger tial toy mang mulway so aseng do sabrian that was about 2 weeks ago di gida ngara yer rogol da ul el make sure amrigela amdangli lo ase momdangli lo ase tia cloud to tele or udul girel kut makli leng kami amdang tokal albang amrigel tangara senkyong beota da adilo obes rigeda ukto el bora sideline sigida de kalso adam cloud to tele la adol molmal lo aisera a media makmana sula media selta ngodo de makmana sulir selu te al el tira way through that media tigal ala isergi de mablura amriga la mom dala issue and hopefully in mega decision at that time
status la SP Michael WIO case pending
ayel selu tura da SP mral tigar adal apply. So one of our challenges are recruiting. I'm not going to more point as the raise a salary. Akna madur amrigelo ase maybe see the sender I want to take a US attorney gamil merbela. Now ambassador say I'm going to see if I can electria audit you know adult the SP has to be at a higher level and they can what the inexperienced other alla ideally kadamala adam ngara US attorney or a retired military or ngara yegidal level they are willing al mela tib ngare udu der sigeda that's one of our biggest challenges I mean team the legal counsel mlar officer gida luro lo banged sera top der tel oran moram rigel udu del lewa ewal ai so is el udu del sugonir bela it's a challenge. It's a challenge magada kaya selo asem magada attract rather mel soril me sacrifice and they don't say origin bring na to sing rather I think that allows us to I think talk about some other issues kidam dingilo asem tara duluran bring girela asem magara masa ududira magadam langa sa ududira adra ngara government hindi kata mol الميرا rather house ما سنة الباسر سل التورا minimum wage and this is the reality blue out ara la claro adimna kadimna serbelo nila ser blue out rogir mang selanga sara la claro au didira ada gire la mungel mara bara alagin we're falling behind and That's one of our challenges. Maulang riyad amrael, ulang bring na dollar arab. Ngira mo understand was saying. Ngira la sel ala la dang okla ngira del magal marael. Akora ngartiang Minister of Finance uktim la telen mo modadu. Ding malab to activity ngira tel mlomregal. الويغ من قطروا له دعم دورنا سولن مسألة طب ده يلتقي فند رمال مريء التايم أوه يدي سؤال شيء بيبر statistics البضع ذي مله 1527 ارتجال أذ أملا private sector ماشي of course 1470 عن government السلسلة government 722 أملا state government 521 عن national government 168 عن state-owned enterprise like PPUC PNCC 9 عن semi government agencies you know تريجل هذا الوسيل متعري fund تريجل هذا السيد الوسيل تقتل وتشو أو تريجل قتل مسوق مسألة وذا الأدر بيلاو من قضاء مرينا سولا ministerial ومسيرتير تمال service sometimes مرينا دي ببرا تامن موبيات سلو سل نغرا collection side تيبل مرينا دي سل نغرا distribution تيبل بيوت ما ministerial مالو ورنا سلوم بقلتام بلي نغرا distribution هذا نغرا collection أوه دي you know say part تيال overall tax reform الجدام ساودنيا of course الالسيل سي قد ميرا أدرا سنة ما هو سل باسر سل supplemental البادجت المقدرس را بنشون قد ميرا سندق الصودا الغترا بنشون دري قد أدرس را PPUC ملقى الغتا سيرفيس را رالم إلى المول من غريق rates بلاد reduce and Mr. Uludo أيجر رغول funding عمال دينغ را tax لهم ديغا tax fund أيجر activity من غمرال وسببرا تايمين مرارود مقدار سيساقر أضرب له لسه government تدير له سبعة تاكس دي مرة state government alone a state government budget of 14 million that entire amount comes from taxes دي كان غرا لين قال جدام دنيا ودور كان بقطة دي غسيل fund state أول بيلا قالوا له 6 million مدرينا budgetary entire money comes from local revenues أيامات ما قال تبلون يلو المليون so just give you an idea tell budget so how much we have to collect the take care of state government ما all bill before about the other pension ما yes ما PUC ما قال البيبي راتوي and the I think what's important قالوا ضو أو دو در other below يقدروا بالمشروع other below minister I'll give you the floor if you want to talk about el programa el driga bleda finish implementary asakuda el sel gora mo aisini mlania gora wal ceremony ra PR a few days ago and maybe you can update us minister your ministry.
Thank you, Mr. President, and good morning to everyone, my fellow ministers and media here today, those listening on air. We're very proud to have been able to launch Asakuda World, which is a automated customs entry system that's being used in over 100 countries around the world and soon in 15 Pacific Island countries. This was a collaboration over the last 2 years with the help of Japan, with the help of the EU, and with United Nations UNCTAD, UN Commerce and Trade Agency. We were fortunate to be able to get a consultant in for the past 2 years to help develop the systems and the procedures to adopt this program. It is a modern system that provides us a lot of opportunity to improve our economic potential by making it a lot easier for people to make entry for goods into the Republic. It also allows us to capture a lot more of that information and use it to inform us on making better decisions on economic planning. So we were able to launch the event on Tuesday at the PRR, Palau Royal Resort. It was a public event. We invited the business community to come and witness the launch as well as to see the actual program and affiliated developments like the website at the event, and to ask questions directly from the staff. I think the event went really well. There's a lot of positive feedback, and there are, of course, some teething pains and adjusting to a new system, but I think the business community is very excited for the opportunity to see this development happening in Palau. We're the first in Micronesia to adopt the Azukuta World system. The next country will probably be FSM. Following FSM, most likely RMI. And then we understand Guam is considering adopting the same system. That's significant to us since a lot of our goods come either through Guam or some of the goods that we export go to the Guam market. This will help facilitate a lot of that trade between the countries and inform us on exactly what's happening in terms of trade between our different countries. So we're very excited for that event to have been achieved this week. The next step for us with customs will be the introduction of a single windows processing center. So it'll be much easier for everyone to engage with the Customs Bureau or immigration clearances, different types of services through the government. This would be the equivalent of the one-stop shop, but in digital form. And again, part of our overall e-government, e-commerce initiatives that we're driving for the Republic at the Ministry of Finance. So I'm surprised we didn't invite a lot of the media to the event yesterday, but we can arrange a separate meeting with Bureau of Customs if necessary.
sel ngilai sa tian lam eru rakal do ring gidam dengela seng do mulai gal besel to maringal di tiang digitize ra tel customs clearing process namoda ka babir kadiga ngar officer gi dokut mokla belinge de oduro kolmo ta ma clear em ro mal ro de atam namoda ngar line. I mean, it completely changes the way we do things. Marami nga sula other customs they've been working in this for 2 years. Nasil gut makli launching. Idiri kan nga sula la private sector. Kadam na saying when every time you start something new, maringal. They've gone along with us and be able to adapt. Yes, the first month because it's almost been a month. Those pairing water mga regel. So they're saying teething marunong ko ora mo maringal and ding we've made it through and so the American congratulate the efforts of the ministry other private sector da kaloro giret to ko e de private sector tiger rogol adal ngare khlalo sis para blur belo diregal this other lo aisro se tial sistema amal miskita togolungil information statistics magigora dimla do korse quickly ngorani tel dashboard lo tilo se maigal kalo ngargel bulul me oise ambassador shabalam le do mkamal me del tobo singel tel number 1 import el dosia dola klalo il blue amrigel oise number 1 amrigel 8 million according to around the number el bora shabal en 1.7 million emrogo te adim le skune ma asina en 800,000 manga angal ambassador atel sina wala dimral merbab but what it's important for our partners and madelo say what is going on gito damra gastal get of course the first month things change that's the kind of information I'll help rigidra facilitate trade melang plamo somera se makaramruda trade show of the more Japanese business and better same thing with Australia and so forth mal kloal bolunga swirigid save a time long term save a cost namoda do sirak samar tokol babir namoda filing cabinet di mo itayer rogum Mutadiri ko luay so sa sell. Of course, it's stored in the cloud. Well, not the cloud, but stored ngari servers ang Belau. Idri ka na servers ang Malaysia. Pansum ngari tamal Bela backup ang Malaysia. So just to make sure ngari backup. So LAD want to challenge and make sure that PNCC is up all the time. Of course.
Tiyan mo sa ating maldim lukura, aklalo di important na Belau.
Why say? Ama export.
And export.
Export. Kali ko mutial, ilabok tial tukura, labor, kau kan ngatal blam apply lo sigarat, ngara irul buil.
That's a different ministry.
Ada, agree ka kasi. Tiyan dia mo since technology may, tiyan mo mga labor sel, malo tigel employers rakat mom di ruta dalong lel office. Especially even naglimrara, even farmer, wa example na. Ngerul buil mate do. Akmora imoro office mo office, akpor office ra immigration na ko engem tal buil. Lesel na mo.
Di mo mamarede. Kung magkita kasi plus lagi mo na.
Oh, dia ako karakter ka. Kung isel mo tirga nga mo beod ma. Ako sa ay technology ma office ulas. Hindi kami mong mortiam. Ay kalobis di next door mo office SS ma tax. I mean it's wild.
Halos sa open na one stop ngirama kan amal di mo smooth araw.
Okay. No, paperless, eh?
Yes. Paperless. And we should get to that stage, the processing and a permit side. That should be the next.
Yeah, and the payment.
Payment.
Di permit kita sa edrel all time ra labor mo online ruli. Including ra the historical mong. Kung mahal nga officer ka, di mo website ra ma'am. Mr. Rosole mahal mo dura tretelel. Blol surfer also.
Okay. Question, Minister, about when the PGST started, there was a bunch of consumer complaints about because when you have a value of something over, you have to pay PGST, and there was a lot of questions coming, a lot of people calling me to try and see what happened. So I asked Customs, and they said that they were working on it because it was an inconvenience to a lot of. So will this help with that? Because when I asked the Customs earlier in the year when PGST started, when people get things over 400, they had to help them do the paperwork and stuff. So will this system make that process faster?
You're asking different questions, Mark. When you're talking about 400, you're talking about a personal exemption. So those are individuals who are filing entries for personal goods that they're bringing into the country. That's usually dealt with at the post office, which is also a port of entry that you can file online with the Azakuta system. But the system itself does accommodate for individuals, but the preference is to work through brokers. So for most people, we don't import through the post office every day. If we are importing like housing goods, for instance, it'll usually be cleared through the port. Yes, it will become easier for those who are have a good record of compliance. So one of the features of this new system is a change in our procedures. So if you are a good importer, we can declare you as a green lane customer. If you go to some countries, there through the customs line, you'll see a green lane with nothing to declare, and then you just walk through. We want to have that level of service for our customers. If you're fairly new, then maybe it's a yellow lane where we do some inspection, and then of course a red lane where we check everything. So in this way, the services at the different ports of entry, like the post office, could be streamlined to make it easier for you to import. But your question is an issue of entry and then an issue of tax. The tax threshold is 400, and if you import over that amount, then we have to file an entry form.
The complaint that people were asking me to look over was there's personal items that go over, the customs holds it, and then they tell them to file paperwork, so they That's what was the issue. Sometimes they would help them file the paperwork, and sometimes they would ask them to go and file paperwork, which they would go around asking because they've never done it before. So that's what I was referring
Yeah,
to.
we will still help people. If they've never done it before, then obviously that's something that we should help them with. But what I would recommend is if you are importing something that's over $400 worth over the exemption, you can prepare the paperwork before your goods arrive. And that will help speed up the process when you receive your goods.
President, the last question na kaldin mutul mortial, pabilang yung manlo viral ma international media mal ating hilun. So, kamdal usya pabilang mora kongres sa Blam Rigel. El express el seba kreng alwasi. Alam kat maklital wachet tang seba el segi dalguk sina mel so seba mauuling ablur bela oitia sina mau recognize oitia taiwa mau recognize sina. Magari kasi so how okay two parts. Ako tang wasi el sugum Amerika end up al jakal baskit tial macet el aleng korang malten sa politics el bukto mes let's say for example in dakal happen el angeng and what's going to happen sel buk next el babilangnya mengarat ngaram botoral sel ya obang gel siya say so how real is this threat that alam kat mukul tiang sa belaw o itiat taywang morasina pwede siya kaudo siya malay gitu.
Okay, sel toner wa bilinga da da seng it's imminent. Mo say sel continue a blue rambrigel el legal release en garalen emngitu tertial del wildergid ma ngadi ngadi ko sadre lang aktrigal sel mo do rambrigel ak masadre sel agreement tra 2010 edim la kalkat maklin mo 2018 why say makase ay gida arula ra oreng masebak krengan adra blue belau matamo questioner tial da tial del wildergid ما ضريق التال دلويل كمان ملا مقلات تايوان ما أبوين تريده واسي مرلي عنgar أليو ملا قال لولمول ما سبق كرين ما را سيل التال المم إيتو تا أبلور أمريكا أرسل أبلور بلاو يجي دام دنيا واسي تكمل ناسين agreement تمام بس كده أو دو ده قال لقى بول بس كده ما يشوف واسي ملاقي batarak tertial politics kami bobe politics kami dim tila ngar adiuling ngungira blu ramriga da ngungira blu mang I think segida a message irgida moramriga we're not giving them an ultimatum, we're just reminding them rase aigal actions kami aiga mengitu tersel el klaumarang rarat ilgira blu ramriga ede ardil el sela blu belau ako maklat kertilo ase intial restra Pacific mang saya giril kergi oh yeah
jadi last question ang kale di korkawe minister utuit koradi comment and kora came up with the tax fund. Understand ako amlara radio explaining so pardon me for asking the question again. Sel ngaringe kel ngaringe bebirar adal tira amne dagal eligible because it status tira own small business owners and they were paying their salaries, but they were told na sendagal eligible because it there's sole proprietorship. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Our initial discussions when it came to determining eligibility for those sole proprietors who were paying themselves a salary, that they would be eligible. So declaring them not eligible is something I'll have to go and check with the office on. The practice that we were recognizing was caused by the Social Security Office, who used to tell people in determining your benefit payments that you had to make for the Social Security office, you could change what you owed if you had paid yourself a salary. So we wanted to recognize that previous practice and not penalize people for setting their salaries based on that policy from the Social Security office. So if there was a change from that time when we were planning the refund to when we actually issued the refund, I need to confirm that with the tax office. The system we have for income tax, which is what people call it, is not really an income tax. It's a salary and wages tax. So as a sole proprietor, paying yourself a salary is something that's recognized commonly in the United States as a business expense. But here in Palau, people have been doing it for other reasons, including the Social Security's requirement to is a way to lower your tax liability. So we wanted to recognize that and then look at it more closely depending on how many people are involved, how much money we're talking about, and make a policy decision and put that out to the public.
So if they are assumed to small business retail pay a salary, they're paying the withholding tax to the government. Are they eligible?
Yes, that was the plan in the beginning when we had discussed those category of salary owners. Of course, so for instance, if you were in the States and you were a business owner, you could pay yourself a salary, and that salary would be recognized if you were working, doing something for the business. If you were just basically sitting at home letting somebody else run the business, that wouldn't really be considered, a business expense. So that would be the difference in how we look at whether it should be eligible or not. But we didn't want to have that discussion up front. We just wanted to say, if you're practicing that now, we'll recognize that. Any taxes you paid, if you're underneath $15,000, we'll go ahead and refund that to you.
Okay. Mal so mangaringi ardim lakal sel between the 11 and 15 el dim lakal ekong le tulum daso say this is the statement telling you na sa kami eligible lekom sole proprietorship. Hindi ka sabi irel kam me kora finance claim niya lubong la car of a deadline.
No, if you were eligible, and for instance, in your example, or you just didn't pick up your check, that money will be available to you for the foreseeable future. We may cancel the check, but when you come in to claim it, we'll reissue a check for you. So yes, you can come and talk to the tax office. I will discuss with the director this particular issue, and we'll see if we can reach out to those people, put out a public announcement so they can come in and pick up their funds.
Okay. So now for clarification.
Just last question on that. I have a case, somebody came and said, I made 14,000 in one job and then 5,000 in a part-time job. Then so it went over 15,000. So they did not give him the refund. He said, what about if I report only the big one and the small one? So, I mean, is that...
Illegal, yes, that's illegal. And it's not yourself who reports it, it's the employer who reports it. So you're also creating a legal problem for your employer as well.
Can the employee choose that? Only one to report and then get the refund for it, and then disregard the small amount.
Is that a legal opinion?
Yeah, no, I'm asking. I mean, what does the law say?
No, the law says that if you are earning an income, your employer needs to withhold salary and wages withholding and remit that to the tax office. At the end of the year, you need to file a W-2, and that's what the tax office uses to determine eligibility for the refund.
But if the total amount exceeds 15,000,
you're not eligible.
Then you don't get anything.
I see.
And
technically, you have received, through the tax reform, we lowered the second tier threshold 2%. So, some people don't realize, but your tax liability has already gone down because of the tax reform.
It used to be 12%.
But I guess the government just said, okay, we just choose one. You choose one. The government is because one of the reasons why these guys make small money is because they have to make ends meet, and it's so you say, okay, we just refund you on the big salary, but small one we don't. I mean, as a government,
You have to report all salaries, right?
even though assuming that the report is made, but as a policymakers, as a government, says, okay, just choose that. We'll just pay you on the bigger amount, than the smaller amount with this regard.
SS.
And you cannot change the law.
Under the law, that would be illegal. And the company would get penalized and the employee would get penalized, right? So I guess we would have to change the law, would be the... I think I get the combine I get a good income. So Ding tara udah sulah saya teruk mo subari.
Hindi ako promise mo uli.
Kita dan murah tab sulur. Mai se mang kada sulang. Di last el wala di sodan mo dulia. The mereka sulir ada marine law. The mereka tablol rescue tiam lo mereka Sunday. Look rescue tigel. Di ko fishermen makada kadari kaldi o maklat karadro saying always be safe. Of course sa hurt mga especially in gila tirak rayel niya tokora safety. So di ko di shout out mo ramay lo mga sulir Tirma Rangers tirablol makalurior el masabak le ono certi lupnam tamal malubat tam la armida. Lastly of course, lang February 21, ang Tugubet Sils, Trigay del Pasang clear. So let's wish them a very happy birthday. Elway Ikeda, Bureau of Revenue and Tax. Severino Lorenzo, Bureau of Public Safety. Madiregal Buik Palau Roman, Ministry of Health and Human Services. Dictelia Lasta. Aragam sika mo 84 el silsma. Happy birthday. Tangara blue rangar along relang makwadi shout out mo garo mo 84. Maringa sula Dios. Mastria will helder tire of course tol mo maklat tanga tertir. Lastly, tigadri gal amal tugobet sila al weekend dirigal el weekend the celebrate a birthday His Majesty Emperor Naruhito February 23 mo. Tadi makui gigi mal di mereka sudah bekla adal belau. Arti le druk mla adu emal lo komangal. Dia aku kulengo del press conference ga diun mulo kom dio era question era drongol en mon moraen. Dia we sel waise. Okay. Dia kada mo brurin. Kada brurin mo beotra adra blun mo understand the issue mo ya tele bekla droger ager mo komaran musula. Mereka sudah media. Komplon artian man mo komangal di kom dio takan.
Presidente po ay sa kalwa sa team rakawra baseball national samlom sisi mo champion rela. Ya sila team rakawra ira amlong eru. Kita minister ngase maliligal kung mo umura March 15. Sa first game. Di mo na ako mesa.
Siguro siya sa kakotso.
May say. Ako mesa ka cricket mo bay mo chance me. Yakyu eh.
Ay, se cricket ta ora wir kom lagi sam dulo yakki. Ne, ni di dong lebe. Diwa, ram sula.